guys like my hair? I forgot to tell you guys, I just did this. My first time doing something like this. I am in love. I am in love. I am in love. Y'all, I love it. It's so cute. Everybody. Oh, y'all. Okay, guys, I'm going to try not to be too loud. Okay, because, you know, people up. And I ain't trying to disturb nobody. But you guys, if you have read the title, you already know this is a perfume related video. And God, I don't know, I just be so excited and happy to you know, make videos like this. Now I've been doing so much research, you guys, so much freaking research, and you guys are in store for a lot of nice little tests and trials and this and that. Y'all, we come with the heat, okay? Today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into it. I say that a lot, and normally I don't, but this time I'm for real. I have my book here. I wrote everything that I want to talk about in it. I'm gonna go ahead and basically give you guys the basics of, you know, like what you need to know, and you know, when it comes to making perfumes and stuff. Now for all the people that aren't beginners, then you know, you probably already know this information, so you don't have to watch this video. But if you still want to, you know, watch it and see if maybe I mentioned something that you didn't know, no. I'm going to go ahead and start explaining the basic knowledge you need to know when it comes to making perfume. What I wanted to say is I am going to touch on topics that is normally brought to me, and the top 2 questions that's normally asked is, how do I make my perfume last longer, and is there a specific recipe that you can go by? I assume that most people are saying, is this something that you can follow, like a step-to-step program to create in a fragrance? And I'm going to go ahead and explain and answer those questions towards the end. So yeah, the first thing I wanted to talk about is selling perfumes, like in general. When it comes to selling perfumes, there's 2 ways you can do it. I'm gonna be honest, for everybody that wants the easy, quick way, you can basically resell a product. Just like you'll do when it comes to clothing or lashes. You buy it, put your brand on it, and you resell it, basically. Because there are a lot of fragrances that are already made, prepared, ready to be worn, things like that. Basically wholesaling. So if you are into that, you can do it that way. The only reason I personally don't prefer it that way is because, like, if you are a person that loves natural products, or you like me, where I like to know what is going into a product, because when it comes to perfume, a lot of perfumes usually either irritate me or it doesn't, you know, work well with my skin. That's one reason why I started. What are you talking to me? Oh, that's one reason why I started to create my perfumes in the first place. So if you're like for the most part, you could ask the reseller or the wholesaler that you're purchasing from what's the ingredients they use, but they're using a lot of toxic ingredients or a lot of synthetic ingredients, and you know you're not with that, then you know it probably won't be for you. But if you don't mind, just keep in mind that when it comes to customer, when it comes to their skin get irritated by your product, they're going to want to know what's in it. So you have to have basic knowledge of what's in the perfume, or at least, you know, do your research when it comes to purchasing that. Because myself, I want to become a wholesaler, so there's nothing wrong with, you know, purchasing wholesale. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that the person you're buying it from is educated in the matter, and you yourself know at least the basics of it. So that's one way. You just buy a perfume that's ready, skin safe, all that. Repackage it, resell it. That's one way. Another way is basically creating yourself, which is what I do, and I'm sure a lot of you that are actually watching this are doing yourself. So you can create it yourself, and that is what I want to really be touching on when it comes to like the basics. So let me see what's the next thing. Okay, so now you gotta tell yourself, what is a perfume? A perfume is just a mixture of different oils to make one fragrance. That's basically all it is, and it's just that simple. So yeah, it's a mixture of different oils, and with the option of different additives or carriers or things like that. And I'll explain additives and different carriers later on. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the different oils that you use to, you know, mix to create a fragrance. So the first one is essential oils. Obviously everybody and their mama know what an essential oil is. An essential oil is a naturally created, derived oil that comes from either a plant or a fruit, and it is produced and created through distillation, which is just like, you know, steaming distilled water and things like that, putting the plant in it, putting the plant strainer, all this and all that. So it is created by distillation. You can look up the terminology of it on your own time, but yeah, that's what it is. It's basically like steaming distilled water, really, basically. So that's how essential oils are created. And like I said, essential oils are, again, like I said, natural. The second type of oil is synthetic. Synthetics are man-made oils. Obviously, it's not real, it's not created naturally, but they are one of the most popular oils used in fragrances, especially in like the world, basically. All the brand names, all those Louis, all that, they mostly use synthetics. Now, I personally myself use synthetics as well. I use essential oils and the synthetics. You know, I like to have a variety. Some people don't want to use synthetics. It's not good for their skin. Some people don't like essential oils. It's not, I don't know, like whatever reason they have. So I like to have both options. But if you are a natural person, you will not go with synthetics. And if you don't mind, then you will use synthetics. Now, synthetics are made from, let me try to pronounce this. I got it written down. Hold on, let me see. It is created from petrochemicals. Okay, yeah, so it's like artificial chemicals and compounds, and it's from a class called petrochemicals. I'll put it on the screen. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. So basically that's like created from like petroleum and natural gases. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to make sure I get the information right, because I know I just want to make sure that I'm saying it right. So like, it can be made for like palm fruit and things like that. So you know, it has its good parts, but at the same time it can be created from petroleum, which is like created from fossil fuels. And you gotta know what fossil fuels to create all that thing, create the gas and the things, the black oil, everything that, you know, make electricity, make a car run, stuff like that. And you know, when they put that stuff in the atmosphere, it's not really good. So it's like a 50-50, because it can be made with some natural derived products like, you know, palm fruits and stuff, but then on the other end, it's created from petroleum, which comes from fossil fuels, which is not all too kind to the planet. So it's a 50-50 for me. That's why I say, you know, do your own research and then figure out what will work best for you, and then you do it like that. So that would be the second one, which is synthetics. Again, man-made, not natural. The third one is absolutes. Now I did my research on absolutes and tinctures, which I'm going to talk about next. Absolutes and tinctures, but I haven't really did too much into it until now. Like I really want to get into like expanding my knowledge. I'm purchasing books, I'm purchasing different type of products I want to try. There's a whole bunch of, you know, this and that. So yes, but absolutes are basically derived from, it's just like an essential oil, but it's just created and pulled from a plant differently. Okay, so basically it's just like essential oil, but the aroma of an absolute is more closer to the actual plant that it's taken from. So it is more closer to the actual rose scent, or more closer to the actual lime scent, or lavender scent, or whatever you're getting your oil from. It's more closer to the actual fragrance than the essential oil. It's more, how do you say, it's more concentrated, basically. Yes, it is more concentrated than essential oil. It's closer to the aroma of the actual plant, and it is created a little differently, but it's still created naturally. So that's what the absolute is. And yeah, and then the next one is a tincture. Now a tincture is a substance like a flower or so that is soaked in alcohol or fruit or something, or glycerin or sugar to create the fragrance oil. Now you guys, really quick, I found this very interesting because when I did my research on it, it's basically like an edible type of oil that can also be used in a perfume. For example, when you like buy like flavoring oils, or you buy like an alcoholic beverage, and like, oh, I don't know, apple Ciroc or something. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with the alcohol names and terms and creations and stuff. But say if you buy like Ciroc and it's like raspberry flavor, apple flavor, basically that is basically what a tincture is. Just like if you was to create a flavoring oil, you might soak in sugar, like a banana and sugar, and get an oil, and there you go, you got a banana flavoring oil. That is basically what the knowledge that I gained. I thought that was very, very interesting, because you can basically create that yourself. I mean, I have glycerin, I have sugar, I could buy 100% vodka, alcohol, whatever, and create my own. I thought that was so interesting. So that is what a tincture is. It's just whatever substance you have soaked in alcohol, sugar, or glycerin, or whatever, what's not. So yeah, you guys. So that is a 4 basic oil that you will use to create a mixture to create a fragrance, basically. So yeah. So sorry guys, that was a lot of explanation. I just wanted you guys to know that you don't have to stick to just essential oil, just fragrance oils. It is absolutely, it's tinctures you can look into. Just do your research, look around, and then, you know, give it a try. You might, you know, find a better outcome when it comes to like your perfume and stuff like that. What are the different additives? Additives are basically what you add to your oils once they are blended and mixed and stuff like that. So once you get your essential oil, your synthetic, absolutely, your tinctures, whatever you choose to use, once you have those mixtures, you can dilute it with a carrier oil or a perfumist alcohol, which is also technically called ethanol. So ethanol is just a perfumist alcohol that is used to make perfume specifically. It's not a vodka. It's not nothing you can drink. It's not that. It's specifically made to create a perfume, okay? A spray perfume. So when it comes to carrier oils, base oils is what I call them. The correct term would be called vehicles when it comes to like your additives. But Yeah, so you can use carrier oils. So when it comes to carrier oils, it's so many different oils out there, and then they are created from like they're basically vegetable oils. It basically is coconut oil, avocado oil, jojoba oil. They come from plant seeds, apricot oil, all things like that. Sunflower seed oil. They basically vegetable oils. So those are your carrier oils. Y'all see this little girl playing with these napkins? So you can use those when it comes to like diluting your fragrance, because most fragrance, like, it's a difference between calculating the allowed percentage of a fragrance and essential oil. But most fragrance oils, they do, when you purchase them, they do have a set allowance amount, like 5%, 6%, just like essential oils also have a set amount for the most part. They're not as strict as a fragrance oil, since fragrance oils are synthetics and they are how they are like made up could really damage the skin. Essential oils, since they are natural, they have more of leeway, but they still have like a 1% dilution, which is like 2 to 3 drops, and 3% or 5% dilution is like different amount of drops and stuff like that. So they all have different allowed percentages and stuff that is recommended. Like I said, I would say synthetics have laws, like you have to follow that, and if you do not, you have a chance of hurting somebody, which is not good. And then when it comes to essential oils, I wouldn't say they laws, they more of like a rules, and some rules are made to be broken. So I will be doing a video on that one day where I am explaining to you guys about how to like calculate your percentages and turn them into grams and turn into milliliters, how to find your percentage of the and find the allowed amount into a more understandable concept. Because like you say 5%, people are like, well, what is that? Or 6%, they're like, what is that? How do I know how much fragrance oil do I use? How do I know how much essential oil I use? Don't worry, guys, it's a way to calculate it. I found a way that's easier, so I will be doing a detailed video on how you can calculate allowed percentages from percentage to different forms of measurements. Okay, so look out for that. So yeah, those are your base oils. Again, they are known as vehicles, if you want to get technical. Oh, and you guys, I do want to tell you guys the five top oils they said that are used in perfumes, which is jojoba oil, apricot kernel oil, almond oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil. They said these are the 5 top oils used as carriers in perfumes. Myself, I do use jojoba oil and almond oil. Those are some of my favorites. I am switching up different recipes to see what will work better, what will work differently, and stuff like that. But for the most part, those 2 are my favorite. If I had to pick one, it would be jojoba oil. Get jojoba oil. Jojoba oil. It's awesome. I love it. It's awesome. Yes. So yeah, you guys, that is basically that. So the next thing is how is a perfume made up? So once you know like the oils you can use and the carriers you can add, you want to know well now where do I go from here? For the most part, a rule is following base notes, middle notes, and top notes. Now you guys, this is not a freaking law. This is a rule. Like I said, rules don't have to always be followed exactly to the T, because I do not follow these. But for a starting point for you beginners, you can have your base, middle, and top note. Base notes are basically like woodsy notes, frankincense, sandalwood, stuff like that. They're deep in depth fragrances, and they're like very they linger. So that is why these are base notes. And then you have your middle notes, which is more your florals. So you got your rose, your lavender, so on and so forth, your poppies and stuff like that, those common sense. And then your top notes would be your citrus. The citrus are your lemons, your limes, your oranges, and so on and so forth, and you get it. So the reason is like they make a top, middle, and base note is because it's the 3 layers and levels that you'll smell when it comes to fragrance. When you first spray a fragrance, you will smell your top note, which is usually the one that evaporates the fastest, which is your citruses. And then then you'll get that little hint of your mid note, and then of course the longevity, the one that will last the longest will be your base note, which is the one that most people use to make a fragrance. Now, for the most part, some people use just base notes, some people use just mid notes, some people use only base and mid notes, and stay away from top notes. But I personally find that you can find a good mixture in all of them. Some top notes complement base notes better, some mid notes complement top notes better. They help it last a little longer. You get what I'm saying? It's really a testing progress. You can't really say, oh, it evaporates faster, so that won't make a good perfume. You wouldn't know, because sometimes it adds to another fragrance and makes it even better. So, but that is just a rule you can follow. You like just look up what are different, what falls into top notes, what falls into mid notes, what falls into base notes when it comes to make a perfume. You'll find like so many different charts and so many different articles of what you can like include in it. Like I told you, top notes are usually citruses, mid notes usually florals, and base notes usually like woodsy and stuff like that. So But like I said, you guys, it's not nothing you have to follow. You don't have to use those 3. You can use just one. You can use, you can mix and match. You don't have to use just one base note, one mid note. You can mix and match 2 base notes, 1 top note, 3 mid notes, 2 notes. You know, it's fun. Make your own fragrance. It's your smell. You are making something that smells good to you, and then you know somebody else will find it, you know, good. So you know you can't really go wrong with it. It's preference, really. So that is how a perfume is really made up. There's not a rule. You can change it how you want and things like that. Now the next thing is really kind of like the ending, kind of. It's like really like what you need to make the perfume. Now this is kind of simple. I explained this again in like I think Entrepreneur episode 2 when I was doing these videos, 2 and 5, if I'm not mistaken, 2 and 5. Look at those videos. They are very knowledgeable. So you'll just need glass everything, really. Glass bowls or a beaker. A glass stirrer if you can. If you cannot find it, I would say use wood. It's more natural than metal. So because some fragrance oils are very, very strong and it can corrode an item, and you don't want metal all up in your mixture. Okay, you got a better chance of doing it with wood. Okay, so glass everything if you can. You need a scale, gloves, mask. At the most part, I don't use a mask. And if I really do find that a fragrance is too overwhelming, I would use like a scarf or something, but something to protect yourself. So yeah, and then that's what you really need. Is basically you just need glass stove, a glass stirrer. You can use plastic pipettes because they are disposable, easy to work with. Of course, if you don't want to be wasteful when it comes to plastic, you can use a glass dropper. I have a glass dropper. You can use those little dropper bottles that comes with the dropper with it. You can use that. So you know that's basically what you need. There's glass everything, glass mixer, glass bowl, glass beaker, glass stirrer, a scale, glass, gloves, mask, everything like that. And you have your bases, and of course you'll need your actual bottles that you're gonna put your fragrance in. So glass perfume bottles. Do not get no plastic, okay? Unless you're doing like even samples come in glass. But if you're doing a sample, then maybe. But don't use plastic, okay? You don't want that. Don't use plastic. We doing it. We doing the real over here, okay? Okay. So yeah, and then I guess it comes to like testing it, and then normally when I come to like testing fragrances and what I think would smell good together, I just take a little cotton round, little things you get from Dollar Tree that you use to wipe off makeup. I just drop a drop of a fragrance on there, drop an extra drop of another one if I want more of that one, run it past my face like such, and that's how I test a fragrance. You can also use those little perfume tester strips, the little white little papers. You can buy those on Amazon, but I just use the cotton round. Works the same. That's how I test a fragrance, so you won't be wasting fragrances. You don't want to create a fragrance in a bottle and realize like, oh, it's not strong enough, or it's not like how another smell how I thought it was gonna smell. Because certain mixtures of different fragrances can create a whole different type of smell. You'll be like, wait a minute, this does not smell good. Or you have a fragrance that you did not like that you mixed with something, and now you're like, oh, wait a minute, this actually smells really good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just testing. Basically, but that's how I test my fragrance, so I won't be wasteful. Because fragrances are expensive, carrier oils are expensive, depending on how many you use. Alcohol, ethanol is expensive. Additives are expensive. Whether you're using a DPG, which is a additive that can extend the life of your fragrance. Maybe using vanilla, which help with the richness of a fragrance. A fixative, it's so many different additives you can add into it. But you don't want to be wasteful, and I totally understand that. You don't want to be hurting those pockets. It's totally understandable. I get it. So you want to, but it's very, very important to test. A lot of people want it to be like quick, like, oh, I just know this, I can just do it. It doesn't work like that. I mean, I don't think anything works like that. I mean, well, if you really want something to be great, it's not going to be easy. I'll be honest with you. Nothing's easy if you want it to be great. It's trials and tribulations. I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I still don't know everything. I'm still learning. I'm still testing. I'm still trying to figure out. But one thing I want to say to everyone that wants to know if it's one set. Baby getting upset. If it's one set formula, it is not. I don't think it will ever be a one set formula unless you make one fragrance and now you have your formula for that one fragrance. You will not be able to use that same. Well, I won't say not be able to, but for the most part, you won't be able to use the exact same formula for each different fragrance because it's different blends, it's different additives, it's different oils. You might not even use the same base oils or carrier oils or vehicles or what you want to call them for another fragrance, because you probably be like, okay, I didn't use vitamin E or jojoba oil or avocado oil for this, so I just want to use coconut oil, avocado oil, and mango oil, whatever. Because it's a testing process and it's not one set formula. Sorry for everyone that wants it to be a one set formula, but it is not. Sorry to say, but it is not. Now, if you really want to go out the easy way, you can wholesale from a person, buy a bulk fragrance, repackage it, and resell it. I myself will become a wholesaler soon. Stay on the lookout. So yes, I want to do wholesale. So you can wholesale for me. If it's easier, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are making it, it's not going to be easy. I just coming up with one set formula. It's not. So sorry you guys, I wish it was, but it's not. The next thing is, a lot of people ask me is how to make a perfume last longer. Now I go about it quite a few ways. Like I said, I did try DPGs once. I do not personally use them as much, but you can use the DPG. It does work. It works. But I didn't want it as an additive in my perfume. But nothing wrong. It's a natural thing. Like, unlike a fixative, which isn't natural. So if I had to choose between a fixative and DPG, go with a DPG. So, which is this. I'm going to put it on the screen. I'm going to put it on the screen. This is what a DPG is. I don't know how to pronounce that, but you guys see it. You can look it up yourself. I had to pronounce it because I don't know. It's basically like, yeah, basically an additive that you add. It's a liquid. It helps to actually hold on to the actual fragrance molecules in the fragrance oil that you use and help disperse it slower so it doesn't evaporate as fast as it would on its own or with just a carrier oil. You can use that. You can use a fixative if you want to. I mean, if you want to. It's basically the same thing. Vanilla, I forget how to pronounce it, but that is also vanilla. Like, it's basically like more original form. Vanilla is more original. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. Than vanilla, but a lot of people use vanilla because it helps with the richness and warmth of a fragrance. That helps with longevity. When you mixing it, make sure you keep it in a cool, dark place. Use amber bottles if you can when you first mixing the perfume to keep it from sunlight, because sunlight can corrode the chemical balance. Use glass so it won't corrupt the chemical balance, because if you're using a lot of plastics or you leaving it out or you're not like allowing your mixture to sit for at least 1 to 2 weeks at least, then you know it's not going to be able to last so long. A lot of people create like a spray and use it the first day, like, oh, it's not as strong, but it only lasts a few hours. Use it in 3 days, and it has to have time to sit and combine and mix and everything like that. So yeah, and it also keep in mind there is a thing called, it's something, damn, I forgot what it's called. I forgot what it's called. I'm putting it on the screen, but that. And then just keep in mind that just because sometimes you put on a fragrance, it happens a lot to me. You put on a fragrance and you be like, I don't smell it. Like, it just went away. And you walk past somebody, oh, you smell good. You be like, you smell me? That happened a lot. Like my brother and my mom, you smell good. I'm like, I do? Thank you. It's just because your nose, it resonates, the smell resonates, and sometimes it's like, especially when you're working a lot of fragrance, your nose comes familiar with a lot of different fragrances and carriers and stuff, so it's like hard to actually distinguish what you're smelling. So if that happens, just take a break, you'll be fine. But yeah, you guys, that is basically the basics, you guys. That is basically how you can keep your perfume for lasting longer. Yeah, you guys, I hope the video was informative. I mainly focus on oils because I know that yeah, you guys, I mainly focused on like oils and different oils you can use, because you know, I know a lot of people usually don't know about, like, you know, additional oils. They always use essential oils and fragrance oils. So I hope the video was helpful for anybody that is a beginner and doesn't really know like nothing at all. Hopefully this was helpful. It was basically the basics. It's so much other stuff that goes into perfume, and I will be creating additional videos, you know, to help you guys with the knowledge and stuff like that. I am here to help as much as I can. Like I said, I am looking into being a wholesaler, so for those of y'all that are just interested in the fragrance itself and want to just sell fragrances, stay on the lookout for that. Maybe follow my Instagram, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you guys in another video. So, bye.